What's up, YouTube? We're making progress on our Montessori book for toddlers and for babies. And after finishing a chapter on various activities that kids and babies can do between the ages of 15 months to up to about 3 years, the overwhelming sense is that the Montessori method, if executed well, is just magical. Literally magical. So there's a couple of things which are very, very interesting. The first one is just how capable kids can be at an early age. I never expected that it would be possible for a really young toddler, someone who's 18 months, to be able to prepare their own food. So this is not saying they're cooking with the hobs open in the oven or doing anything fancy. This is just saying they can make their own sandwich. But even something as trivial as a sandwich, for me, it's just really amazing that an 18-month-old, a 2-year-old could make that for themselves. I never would have imagined that as a possibility. So that's really what Montessori builds up to, if you get all the steps right, or close to being right, and if you build that confidence within the child of their own abilities, and if you give them that environment to practice lots of things. And that's the second thing about Montessori. You want to give them an environment where they can practice all sorts of ways of using their hands, learning to do what their parents do. So there's a really insightful experiment that these authors did. So they asked, to demonstrate that kids are able and willing to do some of the things which we'd expect of older kids, but not necessarily of toddlers. They told a parent to just observe their kids at a safe distance, so making sure they're not too far away, and seeing what the 18 to 24 month old actually does when there's no one watching, or no one apparently watching. And it turned out that the toddlers started doing housework, or things that resembled housework. So that could involve taking a mug from somewhere on the floor and putting it on a table. It could involve picking things up and putting it in a basket, almost like tidying up. And the insight there is that kids actually like doing what adults do. Kids like imitating what adults do. And it's almost like that's built into an evolutionary function. If you think about how young mammals, learn to do the things that older mammals do, this is probably exactly what toddlers are going through. So if you've got an antelope or deer who's showing their young ones how to navigate the dangerous world of the savannah or the forest, how to notice where there's food and be wary of predators. The younger animals typically learn by seeing and learn by doing. And this is also what young babies and toddlers do if we give them the opportunity and the environment to do so. So the book goes through many things which an 18 to 24 month old could do. And at some point I will run through a summary of all of these. And when I do, it will be up here in a link, or down below in a link. But just to illustrate some of the things that they've shown kids are able to do. So for example, we've got some pictures here of, what does it say? An 18-month-old slicing an apple. And cutting an apple into smaller pieces and discarding the apple scraps into a separate bowl. That's very impressive for an 18-month-old who's probably only started walking a couple of months before that. And then that's an 18-month-old putting on his own shoe. And then here's a 20-month-old who's pouring himself some water from a little jug and setting up his own dining kit. So it's all, and there's a lot of videos out there of parents who've brought their kids up using the Montessori method, who are able to do a lot of these things. So that they're not just black and white photos like these. They actually have videos of their kids doing lots and lots of activities that you won't expect of toddlers and babies, essentially. And it's all very impressive. So yeah, I think that's a very hopeful message, that babies can do so much more than we might expect of them to begin with. And we need to notice and be aware that they have so much potential, and be aware of times when we as parents are limiting their growth by not being able to be as ambitious as the kids themselves are and want to be. Okay, we'll end it there.